you're looking at a game that shouldn't have happened. Magnus Carlsen, the greatest endgame player to ever walk the earth, was slowly, methodically, dismantled by the young Indian phenom, Gukesh D. But this wasn't a tactical blunder or a opening trap. This was a 64-move marathon of pain. Gukesh didn't just win, he out-Magnus'd Magnus. From a tense Rui Lopez to a chaotic king march that saw Magnus's king literally run into the center of the board to fight for its life, this game is a masterclass in modern pressure. Today, on 6-4 Squaremaster, we decode the game that signaled a changing of the guard. Magnus goes for the Berlin. It's his iron wall, the opening he uses when he wants to tell his opponent, "You cannot break me." But Gukesh refuses to play the main line drawish variations. He plays 4, D, 3, the anti-Berlin. White's intent is clear. Avoid the early queen trade. Gukesh wants a long, maneuvering struggle. He moves his bishop back to c2, tucking it away like a sniper in a church tower. Black counters with the typical ne7 to ning6 maneuver. Magnus is setting up his fortress, hoping to outplay the youngster in the middle game transition. But look at Gukesh's space grab. 11, NBD2 and 12, a 4. He's not just developing, he's probing. He's asking Magnus, how much pressure can your structure actually take? We hit the turning point around move 24. Magnus jumps his knight into f4. It looks menacing. It looks like the kind of move that wins games. But Gukesh is unfazed. He allows Magnus to trade off the light-squared bishops. And then we see a sequence that the engine loves for white, but looks terrifying for a human. The queens are off. Usually, Magnus Carlsen in a queenless endgame is like a great white shark in an Olympic swimming pool. Everyone assumes it's over for Gukesh. But Gukesh has seen a hidden geometry. He realizes that while Magnus has active pieces, white has the long-term assets. The engine, Stockfish, is screaming plus 1.5 here. Why? Because black's king is starting to feel the draft. Gukesh plays 38, g4, a move that looks like a mistake, because it weakens his own king. But in reality, it's a cage. He is trapping Magnus's minor pieces. Magnus tries to break out. He does something only Magnus would dare. He starts a king march. 45, kf6, 46, k6, 47, kd5. His king is literally walking into the line of fire. It's a Trojan horse maneuver, but Gukesh isn't falling for it. This is the most insane sequence of the game. Look at this. Magnus's king is on d3. It's more active than his rooks. At this point, the what-ifs are everywhere. If Magnus had played f5, the game might have held. But the pressure Gukesh applied with 50. rf2 was psychological poison. He forced Magnus to find only moves while his clock was ticking down. The rooks are traded. We are down to a knight and pawn endgame. This is Magnus's backyard. This is where he has tortured grandmasters for 20 years. But Gukesh plays 54, nay 4+, with surgical precision. Gukesh isn't playing for a draw, he's playing for the win. He realizes that Magnus's king, while active, is actually a liability. It's blocking its own pawns. Magnus tries to push the d-pawn, d5, d4, d3. It's a race, a pure 100-meter dash to the promotion square. The final hammer blow. 62, h5. Magnus realizes the truth. If he takes the pawn, Gukesh's king enters. If he doesn't take it, the pawn marches to glory. Magnus tries 62, gxh5 63, gxh5 kd, 2, but after 64, nb2. The trap is closed. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. On the 64th move, one for every square on the board, Magnus Carlsen resigned. the master of the 64 squares was defeated by the precision of the next generation. What is the 6-4 square master lesson here? Don't fear the king march. Magnus's king was his strongest piece, but Gukesh used it as a target. An active king is a weapon, but it's also a weakness if your opponent has knights on the board. Space is a permanent advantage. Gukesh won this game back on move 12 when he claimed the queenside space. That space eventually became the prison that caught Magnus's king. Gukesh showed us that even legends bleed if you put them under enough structural pressure. If you want to improve your elo, stop looking for the one-move knockout and start looking for the 64-move squeeze. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Norway Chess 2025, you know what to do. Subscribe to 6-4 Square Master and join the community of players who want to actually understand the board, not just memorize it. I'll see you on the next square. Checkmate.